Good evening, everybody. I certainly hope your Thanksgiving was well, and I certainly hope that your Black Friday was avoided. Ling and I upheld our family tradition wherein we went to Chinatown down in Chicago for Thanksgiving, and we ate lots of good food. No turkey, though, but we had duck, we had beef, we had fish, we had seafood, you name it. And we had our fill. Anyway, I guess I'm following in Demcad's wake, wherein I will make my observations on Black Friday, wherein, like Demcad, I braved the crowd. Not to shop, but to bring my wife some lunch, because one of her jobs is at the mall, and she was absolutely miserable. Absolutely miserable. Not that I can blame her. I had to get out of there. I couldn't stay. But actually, I'm kind of happy I went for one reason. There's a bit of a story to it, a story that absolutely astounded me, but should come as no surprise. And I'm debating whether I want to start with the message or with the story. Hell, let's start with the story. So, I get to the mall, and not more than being 30 seconds into the mall, there's an Amber Alert. You can hear it over the intercom, every store. Little girl, brown hair. I'm not going to get into the details. But I looked around, I stopped and listened. I want to hear the details in case I see a girl matching the description. And whilst listening to the details, I looked around to see who else paused in their shopping escapades to listen to the details too, and all I could hear were details about sales in other stores. Nobody was paying any attention. Nobody at all. They didn't give a shit. They had sales that they had to get to, and they had a list that they had to check off on for, and it's not even gift giving. I mean, I'd argue, based upon my observation, the majority of the people shopping there were shopping for their own. They weren't buying gifts. They were buying what they could for themselves, and that was it. So, 'tis the season, my ass. But I was rather appalled by that, and I really shouldn't be surprised by that. But this is a good segue into my topic at hand, I guess. If only we could occupy the streets as well as we occupy the malls, and this isn't even limited to Black Friday. This is occupying consumption in general, but Black Friday would be the epitome of said consumption throughout the year. It's the one day. It's almost like a holiday, a national holiday, wherein people take off from work and whatnot so that they may engage in that all-American activity, consumption. But I look to the masses, and I look at the diligence and the tenacity of the American shopper, and I evaluate the goals. What do I mean by that? Well, goal number one, as stated before, a great many of the people are shopping for themselves. They're not shopping for the value of gift giving. They're shopping for the value of mine's bigger than yours. I mean, that 32-inch TV isn't all about viewing pleasure. And 32-inch, I mean, that's small by today's standards, right? I guess that goes to show you how old-fashioned I am. But it's not only there to provide viewing entertainment, it's there to say mine's bigger than yours, or at least I've hit this level of status wherein I can say I've got this kind of TV, the LCD flat screen. I don't know all the technical terms for TVs. I got a piece of crap small one, and that's all I need. My wife and I only use it to watch the occasional movie, but when I look at the value system, and I look at, like I said, the diligence, the tenacity, the perseverance throughout the shopping marts of this nation, and I look at the associated values, I think, wow, if only they could take that will and apply it towards, shall we say, the grievances that Occupy Wall Street is are trying to address with our government, there'd be one hell of a movement on our hands, but it absolutely scares me when I consider the TV being more important to most, as opposed to their freedoms and their liberties, and their government being controlled by corporations, where they don't give a shit about that as long as that avenue for consumption is there. That's what came to mind for me when I was wading through the crowds as they hopped from store to store, and all I could think, and no offense to anybody that engages in Black Friday activities, but all I could think was, you stupid fools. Last night when we were pulling back in from Chicago, it was about 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and they were already camped out in front of Best Buy, and I just can't see material being worth that. You know, it's Thanksgiving Day and they're camping out. I would much rather be, you know, by a nice fire with an alcoholic beverage and a good book, or maybe my typewriter, my wife, of course. I just can't imagine being out there in the cold with one thing on mind, that Xbox, that PS3, that whatever. But this value system, this warped value system wherein goods are more important than abstract concepts like liberty and freedom. You know, there's a saying, people get the government they deserve, and maybe, just maybe, considering the activity of consumption and how it's epitomized on Black Friday, and just going and observing people and observing the culture of consumption, you gotta wonder, maybe maybe we deserve this. Not that I'm for that, I'm for changing it, but until there's some kind of awakening wherein people, you know, there's nothing wrong with chasing shiny things. It's just a matter of what the shiny things are. Liberty and freedom are shiny, and they're worthy objects to chase after. But when you're walking through a mall and there are Amber Alerts and you don't give a shit about the fact that a girl could be missing, kidnapped, at this mall in particular, there was just a recent sexual assault, child sexual assault that occurred here, where a guy, you know, kidnapped a girl and had his way with her, and you know, people, it should be fresh in people's minds, you know, where they would hear that and go, oh shit, let's look for this girl. It just floors me. But anyway, yeah, those are my observations. At least nobody was trampled to death this year. I should be thankful for that. But anyway, that's all I got for now. Later. Peace.